Welcome to the Literacy Volunteer Valley Shore of Connecticut overview of the Comprehensive Adult Student Assessment System, CASAS. This is the first video of 3 videos. And again, in this video, we'll do an overview of CASAS. In the second video, we'll do a CASAS assessment kit and conducting the CASAS assessment. And in the third video, we'll talk about scoring the assessment and evaluation of your student levels. CASAS assesses or draws upon life skill competencies. So it's not grammar or English skills that don't have relevance to generally your students. It assesses the basic skills of reading and listening. We do not assess the skills of writing and speaking, as that is too complex for us to assess and score. When to administer CASAS. For your beginning English level student, wait about 6 months after you start with your student. This will provide you time to assess your student's skills and get to develop a relationship with your student. We all know we're uncomfortable, many people, about taking tests, so you want to make sure that your student is comfortable with this assessment. With a more advanced level student, you can start with the assessments 2 to 3 months after your first meeting. But you can certainly wait longer to give you time to assess their level and develop that relationship. So overall, the tutor uses his or her judgment on which CASAS assessment level to give. You know your student, think about your student's ability, and give an easier assessment to start. You don't want your student to feel that they, quote, failed, although there's no failure, but they don't want to be frustrated with taking the assessment. So again, pick an assessment that you judge is at their level at this time. Frequency of assessments. So after you've given your first assessment, the next assessment should be given yearly or after 75 to 100 hours of tutoring. This gives time for you and your student to work on skills and to be able to show progress on those skills. Literacy Volunteer recommends that it's no less than once a year, but 2 times per year is ideal to support grants. Learning is measured by the progress from one assessment to the next. So this gives you a sense with your student on how well they're progressing on their reading and listening skills. Evaluation of assessments. So the tutor will evaluate the results once the student is completed with the assessment. And we'll be going over how to conduct that evaluation in the third video. But at a summary level, you will correct the answers which correlate to the ESS skill descriptions, listening and reading. The questions are correlated to language standards. And this is good to know that this CASAS assessment is a national assessment. It is standardized assessment that many ESL and adult learning programs use to determine the level of English of a prospective student. So it's similar to an SAT or those types of tests, and in fact is developed out of Princeton. So we do have a very comprehensive level that does correlate your student to other students. But missed questions don't always correlate to the student's needs or life and work style. So there may be questions that they just have not come across that level of life or work issues and don't quite understand how to respond to the question. So what's the value of CASAS? The results are used by the tutors to give you an indication of a student's skill level immediately. So it really does help you understand at what level your student is at and where they may need some additional support. It measures learning gains, so it helps you understand where the student has been able to progress in their reading and listening skills, and it helps determine instructional need. You may want to develop some future lesson plans around some of the gaps in their skill. They are used by LVVS to support grants and other fundraising activities. This is a very standard quantified measure that we can provide to our funders about how we're progressing with our students. We do capture the results in the student files, and we do put them in a database to be able to be reported at a summary level. And it helps our program development, understanding what type of support you and your students need to progress in these skills. So this is the end of video 1, and we will be conducting an overview of the CASAS assessment kit in the second video. Thank you.